What is up, everybody? It's your boy Quaid, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to take a bit of a deeper dive into the actual hardware that I use at my creative setup here in the office. I had someone in the last video that wished that they'd said that they wanted to actually see the hardware itself a bit better, so we're going to show that off, and I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about the things that I really enjoy about all of them. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with our main workhorse, which will be my M3 MacBook Pro 16-inch model that I've had for about a year and a half, I think at this point, maybe 2 years, I'm trying to remember exactly, and oh my lord, this thing is fantastic. It runs my photo work, my video work, everything I want to do on it, it runs with zero issues. The only time I ever run into a problem is if something in the software itself, whether it's Lightroom, DaVinci, my Logitech mouse operation plugin, that kind of thing. Those are more so an issue than the actual MacBook itself, so that's great. I don't have any plans to do any sort of upgrade anytime soon, being that I've had it for this short amount of time, and I don't feel like the upgrades that have come into the later models have really warranted any like, oh, I've got to have it type things. I feel like since they went from the old computer system to the Apple Silicon, it's been very minor updates every year. So I bought this M3 planning to use it for a while without needing to do any sort of upgrades. So yeah, and I've always been a MacBook, like Mac, Apple ecosystem guy. That's just how my family's always done it. And I'm stuck. I can't go out. I can't leave. They have me trapped. Anyways, along with the MacBook itself, I also run everything. Like, I can't do any of my work without it because all of my content, all my footage, my photos, my catalogs for Lightroom, it's all stored on my 5 terabyte LaCie hard drive that I got early in 2025 because my SanDisk hard drive was not wanting to cooperate and I got scared. So I immediately bought one of those, and I think at this point now, that's what I'm gonna rock, is the LaCies, because they run great. I don't have any issues with them. They have a lot of space, and I don't worry that something's gonna go wrong with them, which is great to not have that in the back of your head. I do plan on probably getting 1 or 2 more this year to start doing more redundant backups of everything, because my biggest fear, I think right now, is something goes down in one of my hard drives and I lose everything that I've done in the past 3 years. So yeah, that's so fun. But speaking of memory and like storage for your content, I also have a Ugreen NAS system with 2 docks, each holding a Seagate 8 terabyte IronWolf 7200 RPM hard drive in it. They are redundant recording. That is one thing that I always do whenever I have something like a camera with dual cards, or this is I do redundant recording. So it's literally the same thing on both of them, but that way if one hard drive goes out, I don't have to worry. There's another backup to it. Next piece of hardware is a new one, and I fell in love with it almost immediately the second I took it out of the box. And that is the MX Master 4 mouse from Logitech. My wife got it for me for Christmas, and it has changed how I do all my work. I don't think I can ever go back to using a trackpad because it is so ergonomic and works so well. All the buttons, the scroll wheels, like they all work in tandem so perfectly that, yeah, no, I can't go back. I really enjoy on the thumb rest of the mouse, there's a haptic button that you can hit, you get a little haptic feedback to it, and what it does is it actually opens a little circle dependent on the software you're using. So like in Lightroom, when it opens that circle up, it gives you all the different sliders that you normally have on your editing section. So like your exposure, temperature, tint, contrast, highlights, all of that kind of stuff. And you can just float over each of them in a circle and use the side scroll wheel to really like lock in what you want with it instead of having to go over and drag it. It's not a big thing, but it can save time in the moment when you're trying to work on stuff. Next piece of hardware is also another new piece. I talked about it more than I think anything as far as hardware in the last video, and that is my Heavies. They are fantastic headphones. Each ear has 4 drivers, 2 in the back, 2 in the front, and they sound fantastic. They market them as made for metal music, but honestly, I've tried them with all sorts of music. I use them for picking music whenever I'm making my videos, and anytime I'm doing audio correction in my videos, they're my go-to. I don't use anything else. One of my favorite things about it is it's not like touchscreen, like those earbuds where you tap it and it pauses or skips the song. It is analog buttons and an actual analog knob for the volume, for skipping songs, pausing songs. And you do have the option, if you don't want to use the Bluetooth setting on it, you can actually turn the pairing mode off and plug in a 3.5 headphone jack cable to just go directly into your laptop. They do also have their noise cancellation, hell blockers, and it is good. As far as secondary monitors go, I have an HP 24EC that is hooked up to my MacBook right now. It's more so just to put videos on to watch more than to actually use for references, like editing on the MacBook, taking it over there to see how it looks. It's not the greatest. Like I said before, I got it at a thrift shop basically that no longer is in business here at Evansville, but it does the job for what I need it to do. And honestly, someday I would love to get it calibrated if I don't get a new monitor, but I would love to replace it with a monitor that I trust to actually put stuff on to blow up a bit bigger than the MacBook Pro and do edits from there. So we'll see where that goes from here. Other hardware that I'm using, and this is more so for the actual making of videos, would be the Anchorwork Lav System mics, the M650s. Like you can see right here, I'm wearing one right now. The other one I have has a gold label on it, just to keep them differentiated. They just plug directly into my camera via the headphone jack, mic jack, and I can just, with my camera cage and everything here, I can actually see it just to make sure, even though I also have it on my screen as well. So I've got a lot of spots to make sure everything looks right and everything's not peaking when it comes to the footage or to the audio. I really enjoy them. The case is nice, and it comes with the 2 different adapters for Lightning and USB-C if you are using a phone to shoot your footage. So it's really good. I love it. The other last piece of this today that I'm going to talk about is my Canon RF 28-70 f2.8 lens. That is typically what I use for my video work. That camera lens is great. It is like the Canon's own third-party version of its 28-70 f2. You have to, zoom it out to a certain point before it actually starts letting you use the lens, and it does not have an internal zoom, but it is really clean, really sharp for a lower cost lens. It's like honestly, I would take that over the actual f2 28-70 any day because it's a third the price and probably a third the weight. Oh my god, that 28-70 f2 is a literal Canon. So I really enjoy it for video work. I use a K&F Concepts VND / circular polarizer. It's a 2-in-1 type lens, and it's been great. So yeah, that's the hardware setup for creative work. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you got any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you haven't yet, subscribe, leave a like. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.